Welcome back to Veteran Game, fellow gamers. Today, we're diving into the highly anticipated world of Final Fantasy XVI. Now, the Final Fantasy series is renowned for its thrilling tales of apocalyptic journeys, where every iteration pushes us to spend countless hours in a world hanging on the brink of disaster. This atmosphere of imminent crisis resonates deeply with fans, and arguably, it's this pervading tension that has cemented the series' legacy. In FF16, we're introduced to a fresh, albeit somewhat conflicting, blend of engaging storytelling, visually stunning but slightly soulless locations, and a delightful yet hectic gameplay. Final Fantasy XVI reinvents itself once more, offering an intriguing hack-and-slash combat system that is a departure from the familiar turn-based battle mechanics of its predecessors. Our protagonist is Clive Rosefield, a hardened warrior from the remote duchy of Rosaria, navigating a world tangled in political and divine corruption. Alongside his brother Joshua, a dominant capable of channeling mystical icons' powers, Clive's journey begins with a fierce dispute over a Mother Crystal, a powerful gemstone that embodies Final Fantasy's enduring metaphor for fossil fuels. From there, the story spirals to include the whole realm of Valisthea, a continent reminiscent of medieval times, under threat from warring dynasties, their dominance, and a spreading blight that turns lands unlivable. Amidst this chaos, Clive, voiced by Survivor's Ben Starr with a touch of Christian Bale's Batman, must uncover the truth behind the systemic oppression and the hidden, metaphysical danger lurking in the shadows. FF16's combat marks a significant shift, even from the action-oriented FF13 and FF15. The game offers a more forgiving take on the Devil May Cry formula, with combat happening within the same environments as exploration. While the pacing may initially feel slow, FF16's combat system eventually unveils a plethora of special abilities and combos, enhanced further by the Limit Break's triumphant return of familiar rage mode that bolsters your strength, speed, and healing. It's a system that offers ample room for theory crafting, especially in the New Game Plus mode, which presents new, more challenging enemy arrangements. However, it's not all glory and grandeur. FF16 is guilty of extensive padding, with repetitive battles against unremarkable foes that hardly contribute to the narrative. Yet, these are counterbalanced by stunning boss fights, each posing a unique challenge against a variety of terrifying foes. They are arguably the game's high points, boasting a cinematic grandeur that hurls you into mind-blowing action sequences. As for side quests, while some provide delightful interactions and add layers to the main character's dynamics, most are mundane chores about fetching items or locating missing people. They do contribute to the world building by providing insight into Valisthea's society, but often at the cost of tedious legwork. Final Fantasy XVI's world is stunning, choosing a clean high fantasy aesthetic that's a departure from the recent title's sci-fi influences. Yet, it can feel somewhat homogeneous, with the lack of ethnic diversity raising questions about the producer's understanding of geographical, technological, and geopolitical constraints of medieval Europe. Final Fantasy XVI is an ambitious attempt to deconstruct the traditional hero narrative, exploring themes of egotism and callousness born from the savior complex. Yet, the game sometimes contradicts itself, as it insists on playing out the hero fable regardless. It may be the state of the art in real-time Final Fantasy combat, but it falls a bit short with its dull side quests and an overdose of world building. In conclusion, while Final Fantasy XVI presents an enjoyable journey with its reinvented combat system and thrilling boss battles, it also occasionally stumbles with somewhat flat side quests and a lack of cultural diversity in its world design. The narrative remains a highlight, offering a complex hero's journey that deviates from the conventional savior trope. This, paired with the engaging real-time combat, largely compensates for the game's less impressive aspects. The voice acting, particularly for Clive and Joshua, adds a layer of authenticity and emotional weight to the story. The game's score, helmed by longtime Final Fantasy composer Nobuo Uematsu, is a beautiful mix of new and old, with enough recurring themes to ignite nostalgia while simultaneously introducing new, emotionally charged pieces. Graphically, Final Fantasy XVI is breathtaking. Every setting, from sprawling cityscapes to shadowy forests and crystal caves, is a visual treat. Each area you visit in Valisthea has a distinct feel, even if the cultural homogeneity can be a bit disappointing at times. Multiplayer is one unexpected but welcome addition. Teaming up with friends to take on additional boss fights and dungeons adds longevity to the game after the main story is finished. It's not groundbreaking by any means, but it does offer additional content for those who wish to spend more time in the world of Final Fantasy XVI. Overall, Final Fantasy XVI is a solid addition to the storied franchise, and while it may not ascend to the lofty heights of some of its iconic predecessors, it's a journey worth embarking on, particularly for those who are fans of the series or appreciate a well-crafted action RPG. In our verdict, we'd rate Final Fantasy XVI a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's a visually stunning adventure filled with engaging combat and a captivating narrative that makes up for its occasional shortcomings. As always, the appeal of Final Fantasy games tends to vary greatly among players, so we encourage everyone to give it a try and form their own opinions. Happy gaming!